Well, this isn't a relapse video per se, but we're on day 2 now, so this isn't a relapse video per se, but 2 days ago, a nut or nuts with an ass were busted and sacrificed. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I'm not about to say relapse because, obviously ED a relapse, but 2 days in, you know, could have been didn't good thing I didn't. Well, I busted 3 nuts in total, in like a day and a half, and but usually I may bust like 2-3 nuts, go like a couple of days and relapse again, and I stopped that pretty early. So I'm on, I got back on the bandwagon pretty quickly. How did the relapse occur? Is the question. One thing I say is that it's always whenever you relapse, it's never good. It's never good to beat yourself up over it. Particularly, you don't want to beat yourself up over it. And so I didn't really beat myself up over it. Well, after the third one anyway. I didn't beat myself over it. You just have to think about I started thinking about I started focusing on the process that I went through before I relapsed. And one thing I noticed, and I've said this many times, probably annoying by now, but a lot of sexual fantasies and a lot of fantasizing about women. I feel like that's the main reason why not why I've been relapsing, but I think it's a main component, because when you fantasize about sex and you get a shot of dopamine to your brain and your penis gets an erection, you may not. It's one thing I didn't notice at first, but you might not relapse that day, but over the course of a week, for example, let's say over the course of a week, if you can constantly fantasizing about women or girls, women, yes, people like, what you mean, girl? No, when you guys fantasizing about girls every day, every time you go to sleep, every time so and so start fantasizing about women. And you get those dopamine shots to your brain. Obviously, it feels good to fantasize about a cute girl. For example, a cute girl that you walk with or you go to school with. You fantasize about them. It's sexual fantasizing. For one thing, it's kind of not fair when you think about it, spiritually speaking. When you think about the fact that you're sexually fantasizing about a chick, a girl that doesn't even know you, and or you don't really speak to them like that, but you kind of putting this energy into sexualizing them, and then for one, it definitely makes you your ability to speak to them in the future harder, because pun intended or not intended, but it makes it harder to speak to them in the future, because you're putting them on, whether you know it or not, you're putting them on a pedestal because you're fantasizing about them. And then also it's like you're making it's like you're lifting a veil. It's like when you consistently fantasizing about sexually fantasizing about females, it's almost like I don't know, it's almost like you unfairly sexualize them, something like that, rather than just talking to them. You prefer just to sit back and fantasize about what you would do, and it's just it's very counterproductive. And one thing I realized that it's kind of I don't know if anybody ever said before, but it's kind of like mental edging. It's like mental edging, where you were rather than, obviously, we all know what edging is, but mental edging is rather than actually fapping, rather than actually grabbing your penis and actually stroking. Sorry for the details. But, mental edging is when you visualize about it can be a porn star or a chick that you've been in school. It's sexual fantasizing in your mind. And yes, that includes, it doesn't have to be sex per se, but for example, fantasize the cute girl that you're trying to talk to. You fantasize about how you would go up to her and how you would talk to her. Obviously, in real life, you don't do it, but when you by yourself and you fantasize about talking to the girl and approaching the girl and whatnot, you may get a number. Y'all going to the movie. You doing all this stuff in your mind, fantasizing. That's constant sexual fantasy, because you're getting dopamine shots to your brain. Your penis is getting erection. Think about that, because obviously, of course, That's some sexy shit. So to a girl you like go up to a good number and whatnot. It's very exciting. But but when all that's in your mind, first of all, you're not in the you're not in the real world, and you kind of unfairly like sexualizing the girl. You're doing all these fantasies, and she doesn't even know. So almost like when you really try to talk to her, it's something like they can kind of sense, like the fact that like your spirit is like very like sexualized, like you have like a very like sexual spirit, and like I guess it kind of like shows whatnot, and they may be kind of like I don't know, they may be kind of like standoffish because like when you have like a spirit of masturbation and whatnot, like a spirit of masturbation and like porn, and you always thinking about sex and girls and porn and sex and girls. Oh my, it's almost like you have like a very perverted spirit, and like people can sense that, specifically women. It's like you kind of like automatically turn them off when they see you. And so it's one thing I was doing, like watching a lot of videos and researching on that like yesterday or the day before yesterday. And so one thing I'm doing new now is I'm making it like whenever my mind starts to wander. Well, pretty much to keep it short, like I'm now counting like fantasizing as like a relapse per se. So if I obviously if you see a cute girl, it's summertime and girls are pulling on the sundresses, and so when you see an attractive woman, you might think about some sexual stuff. That's normal. But as far as like me actually fantasizing about women, like creating these scenarios in my mind, that I'm now counting that as a relapse. So last night was like, well, yeah, I did pretty good last night. Whenever my brain would try to go to fantasizing, I would like cut it out immediately. So yeah, man, that's the new streak. We're gonna see if we can get this thing popping this time. But yeah, man. I see you guys soon, and as always, don't relapse.